Have you ever felt like you're fighting a battle, inside your own head? Like there's that inner critic that just will not shut up, leaving you completely drained. Well, what if the real enemy isn't your job or your stress, but the very brain you use to think about all that stuff?
Does this sound familiar? You get home, your body is just done for the day, but your mind? Oh, it's just getting warmed up. It's running a marathon, replaying conversations, worrying about tomorrow, digging up that one embarrassing thing you did in high school. It really feels like you're being held hostage by your own thoughts. And that brings us to this kind of wild, central idea. The source of so much of that exhaustion and anxiety, it isn't what's happening to you. It's how the 3 pounds of tissue between your ears is reacting to it.
Okay, so let's dive into our first section. It's time to meet this surprising enemy. We're going to explore this wild idea that your brain, your most trusted partner for, well, everything, might actually be secretly working against you.
This is where it gets really interesting. We all just assume that the voice in our head is us. But think about it for a second. If you genuinely can't stand your anxious thoughts, if they make you miserable, how can they be the real you? I mean, why would you hate a part of your true self? This is the first big clue that maybe, just maybe, you and your brain's constant chatter are two totally different things.
So how does the brain even pull this off? Well, this isn't just some abstract philosophy, by the way. It's literally hardwired into our biology. So let's pull back the curtain and look at the specific, devious little tricks it uses to drain our energy and sabotage our peace of mind. Okay, check this out. Your brain is tiny, right? It's only about 2% of your body weight. But get this, it burns through over 20% of your daily calories and oxygen. It is an incredibly greedy little organ.
And that explains something that feels totally bizarre in our modern world. How can a software developer who's been sitting in a chair all day feel more wiped out than a construction worker? It's because their brain has been going 100 miles an hour, acting like an energy parasite that just sucks you dry.
So what's the name of this little villain that keeps us up at night? Well, scientists actually have a name for it, the default mode network, or DMN. You can just think of it as your brain's built-in worry engine. The second you stop doing something and try to relax, bam, the DMN fires up, replaying old mistakes and inventing new things to worry about. It's literally designed to get loud when you want quiet. And as if that's not enough, the brain has another nasty little habit we'll call the magnifying effect. It is an absolute master at taking one tiny little problem and blowing it up into a full-blown catastrophe. Here's how it plays out. It starts small. Step 1, you have a minor, kind of awkward disagreement with a coworker. No big deal, right? But then, by the time your head hits the pillow, your brain is whispering, they're probably telling everyone you're terrible at your job. Then it becomes, the boss definitely heard, and now they're unhappy. And boom, before you know it, you're 100% convinced you're getting fired tomorrow. All from one tiny spark. Okay, so if the brain is this chaotic, energy-sucking machine, are we just doomed? No way. This brings us to the most important turning point in this whole process, the big reveal. You are not your brain. Look, the goal here isn't to fight your brain or to silence it. Honestly, that's a losing battle. The crucial first step is to change your relationship with it. It's realizing that you are the one who observes the thoughts. You aren't the thoughts themselves. It's like you're not the storm. You're the sky that's watching the storm pass by. You're the one who hears the noise. And really, this all boils down to one huge mindset shift. It's about recognizing the difference between the story your brain is telling you and what's actually true. So here it is. The brain's lie is, I am anxious. The truth is, I observe the feeling of anxiety in my body. See the difference? That little bit of separation, that is everything. It's what puts you back in the driver's seat and creates some space between you and all that mental chaos. All right, so once you've made that mental shift, that you are the observer, now we can get practical. We can start using some actual tools to reinforce your position as the one in charge. We're going to cover 3 simple but super powerful techniques you can start using today. Okay, tool number 1. I love this one. It's a really simple conversational technique to create some distance when a worrying thought just pops into your head. Think of it like politely dismissing a very persistent and very unhelpful roommate. So here's how it works. That thought appears, like, you're going to fail that presentation. Instead of panicking, first, you just acknowledge it without any judgment. Is that so? Second, you respond politely, no emotion. Thank you for the reminder. And third,
You firmly set a boundary. I will not deal with that now. It's calm, it's firm, and it stops you from getting pulled into the drama. Tool number 2 is like a quick system reboot for your awareness. It's perfect for when you're in the middle of your day and you just feel completely overwhelmed. It's a structured pause that only takes 3 minutes. Here's the flow. In minute 1, you just acknowledge what's happening inside, with no judgment. Okay, I'm feeling anxious. For minute 2, you shrink your entire world down to just one thing, the physical feeling of your breath going in and out. Then, for minute 3, you let your awareness expand outward again, feeling your entire body, your feet on the floor, the air on your skin. It gently pulls you out of the mental noise and back into physical reality. And our final tool is all about cutting off the fuel for the fire. See, your brain's hyperactivity is often fed by a constant stream of external stuff, so it's time to put it on an information diet. And these rules are simple but incredibly effective. First, set an information curfew. No screens at all for 1 hour before you plan to sleep. Second, protect your morning. Don't touch your phone for the first 30 minutes you're awake. Let your brain start with order, not chaos. And finally, here's a great psychological trick. Put all your distracting apps into a folder and literally label it the enemy. That little bit of friction can make all the difference. By using these tools, you start working towards the ultimate goal. And it's not to silence or destroy the brain, but to put it back in its proper place. And this brings us to the new relationship we're aiming for. Think of it this way. Your brain is not the CEO. You are. The brain's job is like a noisy but sometimes useful secretary. It generates ideas, it flags potential warnings, brings up old files. But your role as the CEO is to observe that input, decide what's important, and then take action. The brain is a tool, not the master. So after all this, the question isn't whether your brain will get noisy. It will. That's its job. The real question is, who's going to be in charge? You have the awareness and the tools to shift from being its servant to becoming its master. The power to choose is yours.